Imagine a subtle force. An unseen current, guiding your every interaction. It whispers, not of your desires, but of others. A constant negotiation, an endless calibration to their moods, their expectations, their unspoken needs. This isn't empathy, not precisely. It's something deeper. Something ingrained. A reflexive instinct that prioritizes external harmony above all else. But at what cost? And where does such a profound pattern begin? What hidden blueprint dictates this constant performance, this relentless striving for approval? The answers, perhaps, lie not in conscious choice, but in a past we often overlook. A history etched not in words, but in survival. Many of us walk through life encased in an echo chamber of other people's needs. We anticipate, we appease, we pivot. Before a word is even spoken, we've already mentally drafted a dozen responses, all aimed at one goal: to avoid conflict, to maintain peace, to be seen as good. But this constant internal monitoring, this hypervigilance, it's not a choice made in a moment of calm reflection. It feels like an imperative. An urgent, unshakable directive. A deep-seated instruction to always place others first. A quiet sacrifice. But why? What created this profound internal wiring? To understand this, we must journey back to a time when our world was small, yet infinitely complex. To the delicate ecosystems of early childhood. For a child, the primary caregivers are the entire universe. Their approval, their stability, their very presence, are the bedrock of existence. If that bedrock felt shaky, even subtly, a child learns a profound lesson. A silent bargain is struck. If I am good, if I am compliant, if I make you happy, then I am safe. This isn't manipulation. It's a primal scream for security. A deep, instinctive drive to preserve connection. This isn't about overtly abusive environments, though it certainly can develop there. Often, it emerges from more subtle dynamics. Perhaps a parent was frequently overwhelmed. Emotionally volatile. Or simply, unavailable. The child, sensitive and seeking connection, instinctively adapts. They become the easy child. The helper. The one who anticipates, who pacifies. They learn to suppress their own cries, their own needs, their own authentic self, to stabilize the adult world around them. It's a heavy mantle for small shoulders. A silent, self-assigned mission: keep the peace, at all costs. Imagine a child constantly scanning faces, deciphering tones, learning the unspoken language of a household. They become masterful at reading the room, not for enjoyment, but for vital information. Is anger brewing? Is sadness settling? What must I do to prevent disruption? This hyper-awareness, this finely tuned sensitivity to others' emotional states, becomes a powerful tool. A shield. A radar. But it's a radar always pointing outwards. Rarely inwards. They become fluent in everyone else's emotional landscape, yet foreign in their own. A profound disconnect begins to form, unnoticed. This relentless focus outward, this constant attunement to others, comes with a cost. The child's own needs, desires, and even their authentic emotions are slowly, systematically, pushed aside. Not because they don't exist, but because expressing them might destabilize the delicate balance they've worked so hard to maintain. A small voice inside might whisper, "What do I want?" But it is quickly silenced. The fear of being too much, too difficult, or unlovable becomes a powerful inhibitor. The self, in essence, goes into hiding. A quiet retreat. An internal sacrifice. Now, fast forward. The child grows into an adult. But the survival mechanisms, the coping strategies, they remain. Deeply etched. What once served as a shield in a vulnerable childhood now becomes an invisible barrier in adult relationships. The people pleaser, now grown, continues to anticipate, to accommodate, to prioritize others' comfort above their own. They might not consciously remember the childhood bargain, but the body remembers. The nervous system remembers. It's a habit, yes, but it's more than that. It's a deeply wired response. An automatic reflex to perceived threat. In adult relationships, this manifests in countless ways. Saying yes when you mean no, apologizing for things that aren't your fault. Taking on others' burdens. Avoiding difficult conversations. Constantly seeking external validation. The cycle is insidious. The more you people please, the more others might come to expect it. And the less space you create for your true self to emerge. It creates a dynamic of unspoken resentment. A simmering frustration beneath the surface of apparent harmony. A silent plea for someone to finally see the real you, trapped beneath layers of compliance. Why is it so hard to break free? Because people-pleasing, despite its draining nature, offers an illusion of control. In childhood, it offered a semblance of safety. In adulthood, it offers a perceived shield against rejection, conflict, and abandonment. To stop people-pleasing feels like dismantling that shield. It means stepping into the unknown. Facing the very fears that ignited the pattern in the first place. The fear of being disliked. Of being alone. Of not being enough. These are deep, primal anxieties. Not easily dismissed. They hold immense power over us. And here is the core truth often overlooked: people-pleasing is not merely a personality trait. It is a deeply ingrained trauma response. A fawn response. When faced with perceived threat, our nervous system instinctively chooses fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. Fawning is the act of appeasing, of placating, to neutralize the threat. In childhood, an inconsistent, volatile, or emotionally demanding environment can be a constant perceived threat. The child learns to fawn to survive. To keep the peace. To prevent the storm. It's a mechanism forged in necessity, not choice. This means breaking free isn't just about trying harder. It's about unwiring deeply established neural pathways. Pathways that have been reinforced for decades. Every time we successfully appease, every time we avoid conflict, the brain registers it as a win. A moment of safety. This makes the pattern incredibly resistant to change. It's not a moral failing. It's a complex, neurobiological reality. The brain, in its infinite wisdom, is simply trying to protect you. To keep you safe, using strategies it learned long ago. Even if those strategies no longer serve you. The irony is that this relentless pursuit of connection often sabotages genuine intimacy. When you constantly adjust yourself to be what you think others want, you prevent them from truly knowing you. And in turn, you prevent yourself from experiencing the profound satisfaction of being loved for who you authentically are. The you they interact with is a carefully curated performance. A well-intentioned but ultimately exhausting act. The fear of being truly seen, with all your perceived flaws and needs, becomes a greater barrier than any external obstacle. What lies beneath the layers of pleasing? A fear. A profound, often unconscious fear. The fear of not being loved. Of being abandoned. Of losing connection. These fears are primal. They resonate with the child's desperate need for attachment. To challenge people-pleasing means to confront these fears head-on. To sit with the discomfort. To risk disapproval. To risk conflict. It feels like walking into a fire. But on the other side of that fire? A different kind of connection. One built on authenticity. On mutual respect. On boundaries. A connection that honors your whole self. So, where does one begin to unravel such a deeply woven pattern? It starts not with grand gestures, but with small, quiet acts of rebellion. The first whisper of no when your instinct screams yes. The uncomfortable pause before you agree. The slow, deliberate reconnection with your own inner voice. What do I need? What do I want? This is not selfish. It is self-preservation. It is a radical act of self-compassion. A gentle turning inward, after a lifetime of looking out. A profound reorientation. A new beginning, however tentative. This journey involves a conscious effort to identify and articulate your own needs, wants, and boundaries. It means accepting that not everyone will like your authentic self. And that's okay. The right people, the ones who truly value you, will respect your boundaries. They will appreciate your honesty. This is where true connection thrives. It's about understanding that your worth is not contingent on your ability to make others happy. It is inherent. You are enough, simply by existing. A challenging truth, perhaps, after a lifetime of feeling otherwise. Building boundaries isn't about pushing people away. It's about defining where you end and another person begins. It's about protecting your energy, your time, your emotional well-being. It's a statement of self-respect. It's often uncomfortable at first, both for you and for those around you who have grown accustomed to your accommodating nature. Expect resistance. Expect pushback. But persist. Because with each boundary you set, you are not just protecting yourself, you are redefining your relationships. You are teaching others how to truly treat you. And how to truly see you. The path away from people-pleasing is not linear. There will be moments of doubt. Moments of regression. Moments where the old patterns feel overwhelming. This is normal. This is part of healing. Be patient with yourself. Be kind. Every small step, every conscious choice to honor your own truth, is a victory. It's a testament to your courage. To your strength. You are slowly, deliberately, dismantling a survival mechanism that no longer serves you. And in its place, you are building something far more resilient, an authentic self. A self connected to its true power. Imagine a life where your peace isn't dependent on another's mood. Where your decisions are rooted in your values, not their expectations. Where conflict is an opportunity for growth, not a catastrophic threat. This is the promise of shedding the people-pleasing mask. It's not about becoming selfish. It's about becoming whole. It's about finally stepping out of the echo chamber and into the clear, resonant sound of your own voice. A voice that has been waiting, patiently, for a lifetime to be heard. To finally speak its truth, without fear. The most profound gift you can offer others is your authentic self. Not the curated version. Not the accommodating facade. But the real, messy, wonderful you. Because it is only when we are truly ourselves that we can truly connect. Truly love. Truly be loved. This journey is challenging. It requires immense introspection and courage. But the freedom found on the other side? It is immeasurable. It is the freedom to finally be you. Unapologetically. Unconditionally. A journey worth taking. A life worth living. So, we invite you to pause. To reflect. To ask yourself, where do these patterns show up in my life? What are the subtle ways I still prioritize others' comfort over my own? This isn't an accusation. It's an invitation. An invitation to understand. To heal. To reclaim. Because understanding the why is the first, most powerful step towards charting a new path. A path towards genuine connection. Towards inner peace. Towards a life lived on your own terms. The journey begins within. Today.